tropical update for today. There will be another one coming up in a couple hours after the OOZ, GFS, and NAM. And once again, we're just going to kind of throw the CMC Japanese, Euro, and all foreign models right now. And I'm just going to go with the GFS and NAM. Now, right now, it's currently 7:09 p.m. Pacific Time on June 20th, 2012. We're starting our tropical cyclone Debbie coverage. Once again, it has not yet been classified, so this track may not hold out. You know, I've been forecasting this track pretty much for the last 7 days or so, ever since the GFS kind of introduced it. So the GFS has been a really reliable model, and I'm not backing down from the GFS in reliability. So, let's kind of take a look here. We show here that a center of circulation begins to develop by about the 22nd of June. Now, this would indicate that on Friday, as this model has constantly said, as the models have constantly said, that we will probably have some sort of development somewhere in the Gulf of Mexico. NAM is indicating this. Now, look at this. This blows it up to a hurricane, likely, and slams it into the Louisiana coast region and kind of takes it southwest, indicating a high pressure probably here in Florida. You can kind of see that there is a high pressure being represented based on the shear winds. And if we look at the 850 temp MLSP, you can probably see the center of circulation a lot better on this map than you can anywhere else. So, now you can see how it really starts to blow it up, but it doesn't really show a clearly defined low. That low pressure will probably be here. Now, once again, you know, we can't trust models and pressures and such, as I've said a lot before, but it doesn't mean that we can't trust the tracks though. So let's look at the 18Z GFS. Actually, let's look at the 12Z GFS so we can have more trustworthy. So again, I'm gonna try and do the updates every 12 hours so we can get 12Z and OOZ. And I'll usually just throw 06Z and 18Z until we get really close to the event. So let's look at the 850 temp first on the 12Z GFS. And let's see what it does with the system. You can see the GFS spins up a low here. And that's just ignore the pressures once again, like I said before. Now look at that. That's a very intense low we get forming off of the western Florida coast there. That's Sunday, okay? Now once again, it slams into the Tampa Bay area. Look at that, 996 millibars. That's probably equivalent to about a Category 2 to 3 hurricane in GFS terms. So we have a very large hurricane slamming into the West Florida coast here by Tuesday the 26th. So those of you anywhere from Miami to Brownsville probably need to be watching this, but once again, I'm going to say this region is my region right now. Let's see what the OOZ GFS does. I might need to shift my track further south and east. Once again, this low kind of does its thing. Still a pretty major hurricane. Now, this is also something we need to watch very closely. It shows a second landfall. That's right, a second landfall on the Maine coast. So another thing we need to watch Wednesday. Now, once again, we've continued to talk about high pressure. Where this high pressure will be is a key factor. Will it be in the southeast and blow it to the west to the Mexican and Texan coast? Or will it be up here and take this system up into the Maine area and the northeastern region of the United States? Only time will tell. And look, it kind of just turns into a little extra tropical low and turns into a normal tropical low pressure. But it gets very close to that Detroit region. So those of you in the Great Lakes region also need to be watching this very closely. After that, we don't really see much in the way of tropics after that. But, you know, we're in that time of season where we're not really expecting much. So nothing being indicated afterwards. So once again, folks, keep it tuned here. And I want to look at a Steve Macaulay graphic here really quickly. Where did it go? Okay. Look at this. This is the Canadian model. If this happens, it's It's gonna be crazy, okay? Either way, the system looks like it could be quite destructive on either end of the Gulf Coast, but Alright, once again, folks, keep it tuned here. We'll have another update after the OOZ mod. And once again, we will get to the time where when it is hitting the coast, and if it hits Maine again, we'll be doing non-stop live stream coverage throughout its lifespan. We'll do continuous updates and when it's within at least 3 hours of hitting the coast, within at least 3 to 6 hours of it hitting the coast, and then on there on, we'll be doing a live stream non-stop coverage with at least me and Alex Forbes. We might be bringing in some other admins, so stay tuned on Tropics Watch and DFW Stormwatch. This has been your Tropical Update.